Ukraine's rejection by the U.S., the globalist fear of a U.S.-Russia alliance, and the real threat of WWI. For decades, the globalist elite, the Vatican, and Zionist-controlled media have pushed a false narrative, one where Ukraine is the righteous ally of the West, and Russia is the ultimate villain. This lie has been carefully crafted to ensure that the United States and Russia never align again, because when they did in World War II, they crushed the Nazi regime. Now, with Trump's influence rising, Ukraine's failure in the war, and economic reality setting in, the U.S. is about to turn its back on Ukraine, because Ukraine was never the real ally. The real fear of the globalist cabal is a U.S.-Russia alliance that would destroy their plans for global war and control. 1. The globalist strategy: divide Russia and the U.S. at all costs. The elites have always feared the unity of Russia and the U.S. because when these two nations joined forces in World War II, they destroyed the Nazi war machine. Open book historical truth. The Soviet Union, Russia, and the United States together defeated Nazi Germany in World War II. 6 out of every 10 Nazi soldiers killed in World War II died on the Eastern Front, meaning Russia did the heavy lifting in breaking the Third Reich. The Nazis could not have been defeated without the U.S.-Russia alliance. Police Scarlight, the globalists' biggest fear. If the U.S. and Russia ever form an alliance again, the entire globalist war machine collapses. This is why they created a false Cold War, demonized Russia, and promoted Ukraine as an ally, even though Ukraine's leadership openly followed Nazi ideology. 2. The media's lies. Ukraine's deep ties to Bandera and Nazi ideology. Small Blue Diamond. Ukraine's government and military openly follow Stepan Bandera, the Nazi collaborator. Bandera was a Ukrainian nationalist who worked with Hitler's SS and massacred tens of thousands of Jews and Poles. Modern Ukrainian military units, like the Azov Battalion, openly use Nazi symbols. Ukraine's government has honored Bandera as a national hero, erasing his crimes. Police Scarlight, why has the media ignored this? Because the same Zionist globalist elite that funded Hitler also funded modern Ukraine's rise, with figures like Joe Biden and George Soros shaping its politics. Open book real history. Who funded the Nazis? Wall Street banks and Zionist bankers helped fund Hitler's rise. After World War II, the CIA protected top Nazi leaders and integrated them into the U.S. intelligence system. The goal was to turn Nazi ideology into a weapon against Russia. Ukraine was the perfect tool. Police Scarlight, the U.S. never truly supported Ukraine's democracy. They supported its Nazi underbelly to weaken Russia. 3. Ukraine's role in pushing for World War III. Small Blue Diamond. Under Biden, Ukraine was used as a proxy to provoke war with Russia. In 2014, the Obama-Biden administration orchestrated the Maidan coup, installing a U.S.-backed puppet regime. Ukraine banned the Russian language, persecuted ethnic Russians, and waged war in Donbass. Zelensky became a puppet of NATO and the globalists, ensuring Ukraine would be sacrificed for their agenda. Police Scarlight, the end goal, WWI. Ukraine was never meant to win this war. It was meant to drain resources and force a larger conflict. If Ukraine fell, NATO would be pushed to intervene, triggering full-scale war with Russia. This is what Biden and the deep state wanted: total destruction to usher in the Great Reset. Open book Revelation 13 verse 4. And they worshipped the dragon who gave power to the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? Police Scarlight, the beast system wants global war as the final step before total control. But the rejection of Ukraine means the plan is failing. 4. The shift. Why the U.S. is about to reject Ukraine. Small Blue Diamond. Trump's influence and the realignment of U.S. policy. Trump has openly criticized NATO and Ukraine, signaling a major shift. With Biden weakened, the U.S. is looking for an exit strategy. The American public is turning against endless wars. Support for Ukraine is collapsing. Small Blue Diamond. Ukraine's military defeat is inevitable. Ukraine's forces are depleted, relying on Western weapons, and outmatched. NATO has no interest in direct confrontation with Russia. Zelensky is losing support even within Ukraine. His government is collapsing. Police Scarlight. Ukraine's usefulness is over. The U.S. will abandon it just like they abandoned Afghanistan. 5. The real reason for rejection. Globalists fear Russia and U.S. uniting again. Police Scarlight. Why do the elites really want the U.S. to keep backing Ukraine? Because they are desperately trying to prevent a U.S.-Russia alliance that could restore global stability. Small Blue Diamond. If the U.S. and Russia align, the Great Reset agenda collapses. The Vatican Zionist war machine is dismantled. A multipolar world emerges where national sovereignty is restored. Open book Daniel 2 verses 43 to 44. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall not cleave one to another. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed. Police Scarlight. The globalists know their time is running out, so they are pushing for total war to prevent the final prophecy from unfolding. 6. What comes next? Fire. The U.S. rejecting Ukraine means the globalist war plans are failing. The public is waking up to the real enemy. The deep state, not Russia. A new world order is forming, but not the one the elites planned. Police Scarlight. Key predictions. The U.S. will reduce support for Ukraine in the coming months, forcing a peace deal. Zelensky's government will collapse as his Western backers abandon him. Subscribe and comment. See you soon. Check more videos.